Hi everyone. Today I'm going to presentate my showcase number 2. Alright. Okay, so my lesson plan is priming kids for poetry. This is for English language arts. You could do this for grades. This lesson plan's 3rd or 4th. It's provided from Better Lesson website. Better Lesson is a website that teaches from all over the world and can put their own lesson plans on. So it's a website where you put your own teachers put their own lesson plan on. This website is very organized and has all grades and variety of subjects. Since these lesson plans are from teachers all around the world, they have technology apps, worksheets, and even in-classroom activities. So if teachers wanted to print out worksheets for their students, they would be able to. And down here is the betterlesson.com website. Just right here. All right. With my lesson plan, students will be able to choose an independent poem appropriate and interesting to them. Choose a poem in order to be successful at reading accurately and fluently. Be able to read a poem with expression and voice change to their classmates, and understand how important it is to read and write a poem properly. By this, I mean properly, I mean by like rhyming words that make sense together. And up here, reading a poem with expression and voice change, meaning while they're reading their poem and there might be a drastic change in their poem, that also means changing their voice and facial expressions while reading it to the class. All right, and here's some poem strategies that I'm going to go over. So the first one that they could choose from are participate in the class Kahoot game reviewing what rhyming words. And by this I mean in the Kahoot game it'll be 2 words and you have to pick the one that doesn't rhyme together or the one that does rhyme together. And down here, teacher reads a poem every day before students are dismissed. This is kind of like an exit ticket except for a teacher. So to get students on track, a teacher will read a poem so the students can understand what a poem's supposed to sound like while reading it in front of a class and stuff like that. Down here, small group reads a poem out loud from a book of their choice. A small group's like 3. It kind of gets the students comfortable with reading it in a small group before going in front of the whole class when it comes to that time. And up here, generate discussion. Pick a topic about a specific poem. For example, what is another title you could give this poem? So if it comes from a book or something and the class is going over it, there could be discussion on the specific poem. So like, for example, what do you think this author intended with this poem? Or like what another title that would fit in this poem. All right, and then use Flipgrid to read a poem you created yourself, and after submitting, comment on 2 other classmates' poems. So Flipgrid's right here. It's very easy to set up. You just gotta like go through it with your Google or your class thing. And by this, you just before reading it, the big assignment in front of the whole class, just submit a Flipgrid of reading a poem that the student created themselves, and then just 2 positive comments on 2 other peers' poems. And this one is actually a really fun one for the students to get involved in more about poems and stuff. It's stack up book spine poetry, using the spine of books and choose from a pile that would go together to stack the rhyme. So you go to like the library or something, and you pick like 5 books that rhyme together, this spine of it, like the titles, and then you just stack them together. And it's just a fun activity to get their mind going about what's supposed to rhyme together. All right, another one is bell ringer. Write as many words as possible that rhyme together on index cards And you could just time it for like 3 minutes as a little warm-up to get them going for the day, for the class, of what they're expected to do for that class. Down here is choose 5 random words, and as a class, make them rhyme using any other words. So by this, I mean like choose 5 words from a hat or something. And you could use other words with these 5 words. You just have to incorporate the 5 words in like the stanzas when you're doing the poem. And then down here is use 5 card flicker, and that is a visual website. So like if you don't know a word or something, and if you wanted to type in a sentence, and then it would come up with pictures and make the poem come alive for the students, would be kind of fun for 3rd graders and 4th graders to see. And that's all for like little activities you can pick within the big lesson plan that you want for them. And for the first question, it's do tools teach students to self-monitor their learning, success, and struggles? I personally said yes. These tools that I chose help students to self-monitor their learning, successes, and struggles. Not only do these tools help with this, but they can also guide you through assignments. The tool 5 card flicker, the visual one, helps you to visualize a phrase or a word that you could be stuck on while coming up with a good poem. Another tool I chose that helps students learn to self-monitor their success and struggles was Kahoot. This tool gives you feedback right away after the whole class answers this question. This is very helpful because it makes sure students know that what they need to work on for their learning successes. So I definitely do think the tools I picked helped this. Do tools help students goals set and develop strategies for improving learning? I definitely think so. Specifically, this tool named Quizlet. This tool has multiple strategies for different learners. On this website, there are flashcards, gravity mode, practice tests, and all types of different strategies to help you learn the best way you can. Not every student learns the same, and using tools can be so beneficial to students who need a different task than the rest of the class, just to be able to understand a topic, and that's okay. And I feel like other students should be able to have different resources on the same location, and that would be Quizlet. Next question is, does a tool allow you to collect data or other information to monitor learning? Kahoot and Flipgrid does. Kahoot does a little bit more than Flipgrid, but I'll get into that. This tool allows teachers to collect all the scores of their students at the end of the game. This comes in handy because it lets a teacher know that they need to focus on teaching a specific topic, or if one student's just struggling with the whole topic of the Kahoot, then the teacher can just talk on that with them one-on-one. And with Flipgrid, this tool isn't specifically data, but it allows you to watch your students engage with each other. It also lets you see or hear your students' expressions and their tones of voice. And having Flipgrid and being able to see their tones and their expressions is good, because if they come into class and they give their poem in front of the whole class and it's way different than online, then you could kind of give them lenient ways because you know that they could do better. Alright, do tools give students easier and faster access to feedback on their performance and understanding? I said yes, the tools in the poem strategies board give you feedback. Kahoot lets you know if you get a question right or wrong right after the class answer switches quickly. Flipgrid lets you communicate with other classmates, which lets you gain access to feedback on a video or an assignment submitted. 5 card flicker gives you a visual aspect of a sentence or phrase right away. And that's all. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.